She just called me a scrubby bum.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Or the pajama pants.
Yes.
She said, you gonna wear your pajamas on camera? And I'm like, yeah, our audience would be horrified. That's such debauchery.
Our tens of fans, as I say. Watchers, not fans. Watchers.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate watchers out there.
That's true.
What is happening, everybody? So it's Sunday as we're filming this. Yesterday was Saturday. And we weren't planning on going sourcing. We were just like doing a whole like let's run errands day. It was very exciting. I actually said this morning that I had fun yesterday, and Vikki was like, "Well, I wouldn't exactly call it fun." I'm like, "How dare you?"
It was just an errand day.
But we were hanging out together, and this one over here, who usually likes to go out and do stuff, had literally stayed inside the house for like basically since we got back from
we came
Washington.
in Saturday night from Washington.
Because you were feeling a little bit sick. But also, like, she was like, I hadn't gone outside at all, like, outside. And I'm like, we have a backyard.
Yeah. It's not super exciting right now.
So we did some very exciting stuff. Went to the car wash, which was a little bit exciting because what happened?
We got stuck.
We got trapped. We were, like, in the middle of it, and it just stopped.
The power went out. We were doing the kind where, you put your car in neutral and,
Yeah, it takes you through.
You get all the things hitting the car and...
I have to say, I was actually pleasantly surprised that you didn't freak out or get mad or anything.
I mean, they've handled it pretty quickly. I think we were stopped for a total of 5 minutes, and then they were, like, yelling at us, don't open the windows, we're going to get it restarted or whatever. So I was like, all right, I guess I won't freak out. Had it gone on for an extended period of time, I'm pretty sure
like a good 5 minutes, though.
I would have had a good meltdown, but it was only 5 minutes, so it wasn't bad.
I was like, we should have gone around and, like, had you, like start crying and say you were traumatized and see if we get some free car washes.
Why are you telling me this now?
Missed opportunity. Anyway, dropped off library books. Very exciting. And we went and got new furniture, which that was really fun. Because basically we had a whole furniture set we bought almost 3 years ago. And just, we had like a fabric, what do you call it?
The fabric protection.
You
know, when they ask you, do you want to get this in case anything spills or stains or rips or tears, blah, blah, blah.
And the dogs have like scratched up like crazy. Poor little old lady Grizz has done a fair amount of vomiting on it. Sorry, guys.
It's leather. It does get cleaned, but
it's the kind of leather that like scratches really, which it's supposed to, but it's ridiculous when you have a puppy.
It's the expensive top grain leather, but
yeah,
not practical for kids or pets.
Right. And so they did great by us, and we got like a full credit for all of it. So it was kind of like going on a shopping spree.
We had like a $5,000 credit to go and...
I know, we were like, we're going to get that couch.
We were like balling.
We're going to get that couch. We're going to get that chair. We're going to get that table. It was really fun. Anyway, and we went to lunch, and we happened to we drove by a Goodwill, and this one over here was like, I want to go stop at that Goodwill. And I think it's one I've never been to before. And then we went to go to the restaurant, and there was a Salvation Army right next to it. Mm-hmm. And so we went to the Salvation Army, which we haven't had great luck overall at the Salvation Armies. Thrift stores in general, we don't do a lot of thrift stores here anymore, but...
There's just too much competition, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
You can always find a couple of things, but the reality is time is money, right? So walking into a thrift store to walk out with 3 or 4 quality items and spending an hour plus is not my idea of a good time. I'd rather go spend 2 to 3 hours at the bins, fill a cart, or buy in large bulk buys from people, which is what I've been doing.
But we both found some good stuff. I feel like I did pretty well. And then there was a sign when you first walked into Salvation Army where you could like scan this code and sign up for like their text alerts, and you got a 25% off coupon. And so I did that, and we went to go check out. And first of all, the girl that checked us out didn't even ask to look to like verify that I had signed up for anything. She didn't take a code. She didn't look at it. She just was going to give us the discount. And then, I mean, I was joking and I said, this is the kind of I don't give an F attitude that I can be on board with all day, because she was like not thrilled to be there. She was nice to us.
Well, she was perfectly nice.
She was nice to us, but she was, I don't know if it was just her being lazy or what, but she seriously like rung us up for 50% off everything. And then on top of that, she wasn't even like ringing. There's some stuff she just pick it up and just shove it in the bag and not even bother ringing it up. So It was.
And there was a bunch of things that were supposed to be like $7.99 sweatshirts or whatever, and she scanned them as T-shirts for $1.99 or $2.99.
$2.99, but then half off of that.
I don't know, but I'm not complaining.
No,
I hope the poor girl doesn't lose her job, and we're certainly not going to mention where we were or anything.
Well, the thing with Salvation Army is they don't have like any kind of barcodes. They just have. They don't even have tags. They literally just have, what are those little plastic, whatever they're called. There's a word for them. They just have those in different colors. They don't even have, not even that. They just have price. They basically say T-shirts $2.99, long sleeve shirts $7.99, which is ridiculous.
And then she scans a little
and then
piece of paper.
They scan like the piece of paper. So I mean, whatever. But basically, I spent like $25. I think you spent like $12. It was something stupid. But we each had like a giant bag. So we're all like, yeah, we're doing really good. So then we go to the Goodwill, and again, like I'm finding some really good stuff. And again, the pricing's a little high. Their 50% off color was blue.
Of course, there's no blue in this.
And then I got like 2 things. And then like, we were there for maybe half hour, 45 minutes, because it was a really big store with a lot of stuff. And they go on the loudspeaker and they're like 50% off everything, all colors except red, which is like their high price stuff. And there was one other color, but
yellow, which is like the new goods.
Oh, yeah, new goods.
Which is like the branded stuff that they sell there. If you've been to Goodwill, you know they're selling like cheap bathroom stuff and bedroom stuff and whatever.
And so I was like, hot diggity dog. And I knew there were a couple pieces that I had passed over that I wanted to get, but I'm like, the price point just wasn't there. And so once again, we got some really good stuff. And we thought maybe it was just that store. But
no, Dana was outsourcing at the same time as us at a different store. And I was texting with her, and she said that they had the same thing. It was an unannounced sale. Who knows? Maybe it was a slow sales week. I don't know. And then the store managers decide to do 50% off to clear some of the racks. Who knows what the reasoning is behind it? It was just an unadvertised sale, but it was really nice to, fill up a bunch of items. And I only spent, what did I say I spent there? $50 there, but I got some pretty good stuff.
I spent $50, and I had this older lady. It was her first day, and she was really sweet. But it was so funny. I was saying that, like, I would love to have somebody like this just follow me everywhere I go sourcing, because she seriously, as she was ringing it up, she was like, oh, wow, ooh, this is so good. Oh my goodness, you did such a great job. Oh, I can't believe this.
Good job.
I know.
Good job, sourcer.
I know. And then she like gave me the total, and she's like, $50. She's like, that can't be right. Wow, amazing. And it was nice having my own
motivational granny.
Yeah, she was great. She was really cute. Anyway, so we got some decent stuff. So we figured we would do a little haul and just show you the highlights. I mean, I'm almost showing you everything. I have a few things I'm not showing, but a little haul of what we found.
I've got almost everything I'm showing too.
Yeah. So why don't you start us off? What did you get?
Okay, so this is like, these are no like slam dunk items or anything like that. I mean, some of them are pretty good, but these are just mediocre. But what I will say is I have 12 of these kits that I got at that Salvation Army.
And what's the tag?
That I paid $1.99.
$1.99, but she charged you like...
She charged me $1.50 and then half off. I paid 75 cents a piece for these. Now, I'm only going to show them to you because here's a name that I've talked about before in a different context. Mary Maxim. This is a brand that is patterns, and one of the things that the patterns are for are these really great collectible Kawashan knit sweaters from the 50s and the 60s, the kind that they have like horses on them, and sometimes they have a dog or like a hunting dog.
And those would be a slam.
Those would be like a $300 sweater. If you find them when they're already made, they sell really well. They're super collectible. There's usually not attributed to her because it's a pattern, right? And they're all handmade. Anyway, so the name was what had me check, because I know what it is. I mean, these are probably somebody licensed using her name, because these are not very old. But these are just kits. They're just kits to make plastic yarn-covered tissue cover boxes. Nothing
the
super
covers
exciting.
That go over like the
covers. You remember these? I mean, this is probably not that old because there is a barcode on the back, so it's probably early 2000s. I can't see a date because I'm blind. But anyway, I get 12 of these, and they are
I'm trying to see a date for you.
They were all 75 cents a piece. They sell pretty easily for $20 to $25 each. And I mean, they're easy to ship. You're just 2 photos. You're going to shove it in a poly mailer, and it's first class. So if I get $20 a piece plus shipping for them, I mean, I'm fine with paying 75 cents. They're super easy to list and photograph. So that was not what I'd call a slam dunk, but it's really nice to get cheap fairly fast moving inventory.
And you paid 75 cents. Come on. It's like close to what you would have paid at the bins.
Exactly.
All right, so I got a couple of hoodies. Now this first one, definitely not a slam dunk, not vintage, but I can't pass up a good Goosebumps. And it just has the printed Goosebumps tag, a great graphic on the front of it. It's Goosebumps, welcome to Horrorland, or as Vikki would say, welcome to Horrorland.
Horror. It's horrible.
It's got the cool print down the sleeve. Now, there's plenty of these. It's really easy to find comps. So, honestly, like, I'll be happy if I get $30 to $40 for it. But there's ones that have sold for far less. But I grabbed it because it is Goosebumps. And also because I've talked about this before, sweatshirts nowadays and hoodies are so gross because they make them with that like acrylic polyester blend.
They feel nasty.
And they don't feel nice at all. And this is like a
normal 50-50.
A normal cotton blend sweatshirt. So it needs to be washed. It's dirty. But couldn't pass it up. And I paid like $4.
They were $7.99, so you paid $4.
Yeah, I paid $4 because I got it at
if she even scanned it.
If she even scanned it, that's true. And then the other hoodie that I got also there, so I paid like $4 if I paid for it. Now this actually is vintage. This is on this Hanes tag, which is late 90s, early Y2K. I think this one's a Y2K. It's got the little front hit. This is Cedar Breaks National Monument. I don't even know where that is. I'll have to look it up, obviously.
It's got a moose, though.
But it's a cool... That's not a moose. That's... Put some glasses on, woman. Watch out for that moose! It's coming for you!
What is it, a tree?
It's a freaking tree, man!
Oh, I thought it was antlers.
Anyway, Cedar Breaks Monument. Again, I don't know where it is. It's a Bristol cone pine. Anyway, I like these nature, national park, national monument kind of destination tees and sweatshirts. So I'm always going to pick them up. I don't know. This will probably do for like $40. It is a sweatshirt, a little heavier to ship. Okay.
All right, so this was from that first thing. I think it was supposed to be $7.99, which means if I paid for it, it was $4. This is just a vintage, probably 70s based on the style. There's no tags. It is a ski sweater. It just had like a cool pattern in the front. It is wool. There is one tiny little hole in the front. I'm probably going to try to just quick loop stitch that myself. I can actually, I say I can't sew, but I can do a little one like that. From inside. And then it has a little spot on the front, and inside I think it's just makeup. This is why I think it's women's, plus the hearts, and then it's got this little zipper thing on the side. I thought it was pretty cool. So I will probably list this for like maybe $50. It's not like anything super fantastic, but I do like it.
But you paid very little, if anything. So
yeah.
I did find some decent vintage pieces. This is also from Salvation Army. It's on the BVD tag, and it's actually like a really big size. It's a 2X. And it's a little Christmas sweatshirt. It says, "Dear Santa, I want it all. Don't we all, everybody?" It's this cool kind of green color. It's just really cute. Nice big sweater. Actually, this is a sweatshirt I could see Vikki wearing. Because of the color, and she likes the big oversized sweatshirt. So
I don't like graphics like that, though. I would never wear that.
Whatever. Sorry, you're too cool for Santa Claus, Scrooge.
Really? Yeah. The person with 75 Christmas trees. I'm such a Scrooge.
You are. Anyway, so I'll probably try to sell this for like $40 to $50.
Okay, so I got this one at the Goodwill. It was $5.99, which means I paid $3 for it. What I found kind of funny is that it has a Buffalo Exchange tag on it for $15.99, which Buffalo Exchange knows their crap, right? So this is made in the USA, Hanes Her Way, probably early 90s sweatshirt, but this is like, granny core, right? So someone added some lace on the collar and a doily on each sleeve and on the front. I mean, Sleeve hit, doily sleeve hit. that's something you don't hear. Granny core, doily sleeve hit. You don't hear that very often. But anyway, it's cute. This is all the thing that the kids are wearing these days. But anyway, and I think it even has some glitter glue. Some glitter glue around it.
Well, it's funny because we watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and this season, one of the young queens, when they were just in the workroom working on stuff, she was wearing a granny core teddy bear sweatshirt from like the 80s.
Yep. And all the things that we tell you somebody's buying, I don't know, these kids are wearing. I mean, I would just look like it was
she's like young.
I'm just
20s.
old, so I would look like I was wearing it unironically and had no fashion sense. But the 20-somethings can pull it off, and it's
Cute.
yeah. I can't pull it off. If somebody's just like, Granny, what are you wearing?
All right, next up, I don't usually pick up like blank t-shirts, vintage t-shirts, unless like I come across a whole bunch and I can do a whole batch, but I will pick up blank sweatshirts because I feel like individually they can sell for you. You can get like a good $30 for them. So I picked this up at Salvation Army. It's Lee, and one of the reasons especially I picked this up is it's actually new with tags. It's got the old Montgomery Ward tag on it. It sold for $11.99. This is a 90s made in the USA Lee sweatshirt, and it's white, so it's nice and crisp and clean.
So crisp and so clean.
So crisp and so clean, half off, and so I probably paid at most $4 for it, but I was very happy about that. I thought I was going to pay $6. And then when we were at Goodwill, I had passed this one up with the first time around because it was not a blue tag, and they had it priced at $7.99, and I'm like, no thanks. And so as soon as they announced that all the colors were going to be 50% off, I went through real quick and grabbed some of the stuff like this because I was definitely willing to pay $4 for it. And this is a Hanes, probably 90s sweatshirt. It's in good shape. And it's
Again,
nice
it feels
red.
nice.
Big color.
A lot of people love to get these blank shirts because they put vintage
You can put your
graphics
own
and
graphic on it.
iron-ons and whatever on them. We know our friends Ryan and Allie, Rally Roots, did that with a recent merch drop they did. They put their own logos on a lot of vintage items that they had picked up.
Well, yesterday's Fits does the same thing. So, I could get it for $30, so good call.
It's a thing. Okay, so I paid maybe $1 for this, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is this is not like a big old home run or anything like that. This is Y2K BB, which I always say to pick up. The Y2K stuff right now is probably the stuff that's selling the fastest. 90s and Y2K, men's and women's. That's the height of the fashion trend right now, although all vintage does well. This sells the fastest. So this is just a stretchy tank top with it's the padded
It feels
bust.
like shapewear.
It feels almost like shapewear. That was very popular to wear under everything and to be long layers. And then it's got the little beaded BB on the bottom, and that would hang out of the bottom of another shirt. Or you'd wear a couple of these in the early Y2K. So I paid like $1 for it, but a similar one that I had just sold earlier this week for $50 on Depop. So don't discount these things if you can get them cheap enough. I'm not saying pay up for it, but if you get this stuff at garage sales or the bins or, dollar tag day or whatever, grab these things and price them. If you price them fairly, they're going to fly fast. 30, 40, $50.
Nice. Now, I'm always excited when I actually find some like true vintage that goes back before the 90s and Y2K, and because it's just really hard to find actually in thrift stores. But I got this at Salvation Army. Now their t-shirts are only $2.99. I don't know why the second it has long sleeves, it jumps up to $7.99. It's stupid. But anyway, t-shirts were $2.99. So if I paid for this one at all, I paid $1.50. It's on the anvil tag. It's in really good shape, single stitch, nice and soft like butter.
Like butter.
And it's an Arkansas Razorbacks t-shirt. And it's just a great graphic in great condition. So I was really happy about this. I can definitely get like $40 for it. And I paid $1.50.
Okay, so this I bought at the Goodwill. It was $8.99, so I paid $4.50. I picked this up because I knew when I saw the pattern that it would be really good. So this is a Disney Villains bathing suit, but it's for Torrid. So Torrid is a plus-size women's clothing line, and I don't pay full price for Torrid, but if it's got a great graphic or a great style design on it, I'm definitely picking it up. It sells quickly every single time. Now, we're not even in summer season for most places. That is cruise season, though, so people are definitely vacationing right now into the spring. But there's not a whole lot of these listed. This is like their size 2, which is, I think, a 2X. And it's in perfect condition. Looks like it's never even been worn. Mm-hmm. And no pilling or stretching or anything like that. So I'm going to list this for about $75. The last one sold. There's only one sold. It sold for $60 or $70.
What did you pay for it?
I paid $4.50. So I'll list it for about $75, and I bet it sells fairly quickly. There's only a couple of them listed.
It's really cute. All right, next up, I picked up some good Western t-shirts, Western button-down shirts. All of them I think I got at Goodwill. A couple of them I had left behind until they announced the 50% off. But let's see, this one, I think that they were all priced at $7.99, which is just stupid. I mean, that's a pretty high price at a thrift store, especially when Like, I don't go into the whole kind of bullshit about like, oh, it's donated to them. How dare they price it so high?
No, they throw away so much stuff.
Yes. However, they bring in so much stuff that to me, they're not making themselves enough money because they price stuff too high. That's my opinion. They would move stuff out a lot faster. But anyway, this is I always say Ellie, but it's Eli Cattleman shirt. It's just a basic red with the nice red snap buttons. So I only paid $4 for this. I should be able to get like $30 to $40 for it.
I mean, 10 times your money is always good.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I grabbed, this is another Ellie Cattleman, and I really like this one because it's black.
Eli.
Sorry, Eli.
It's Eli, Nevada. Eli Cattleman.
Sorry.
It's a town. Like,
I know.
not far
It's
from
because
us.
I grew up with an Ellie that spelled her name that way. So it's like whenever I see that, that's what I think of. Anyway, oh, get over it, Marge.
Marge.
But I like this one because it's black, but it has like the texture accent to it, the pattern accent.
Tone on tone print.
Tone on tone print. So it looks really nice. It's got the pearl snap buttons. Again, paid $4. Should be able to get like $40 for that. This is one I passed up because it's not vintage. It's Wrangler. But again, as soon as they announced that 50% off, I got it. Another tone on tone print. So it's kind of a white, kind of a cream. And you can see it's got stripes, but it also has like little diamonds. So a really nice kind of, dress shirt for when the cowboy wants to go to church or something.
Or cowboy needs to go to a funeral.
He's cowboying at church. So,
or a wedding.
Yeah, there you go. That's his wedding cowboy wear.
Wedding cowboy wear. Hashtag. Okay, so these are things that I would not have picked up at their full price, but at 50% off, I was all in, right? So I paid $5 a pair for these shoes, and they must have come from the same girl's closet because they're the same size and the same era, which I find funny. So these are a size 8.5. Hello, Spice Girls, right? These are Skechers. These are 90s Y2K, like slip-on Skechers. They've got a platform. They got this cute little medallion heart thing on the front. These are so cute. These are something I actually would have worn in the like late 90s with a pair of like flare leg mud jeans or something like that. That was the look. I think I can get about 65 for these. I probably will end up selling them on either Depop or Etsy because that's the aesthetic that seems to be moving the fastest on those platforms. Just because the youngins that are wearing these things are not shopping on the eBay, guys. Sorry, eBay. The Utes are not shopping on the eBay. It doesn't happen. I have a Ute. I own a Ute.
You own her?
Well, I mean,
she's in her 30s now.
She's 31. My daughter turned 31 this week, and I've been selling on eBay most of her life, and she does not buy on eBay. So anyway, the other ones, a lot of you girls, women, will recognize these LA Gear. So LA Gear, the LA Gear high tops were the big thing in the 80s and early 90s. The high tops, especially the double Velcro top, just like the Reeboks LA Gear with your scrunch socks, multicolored scrunch socks. Come on, girls. We've done this, right?
Hey, I had the neon green laces on one and pink on the other shoe.
Oh, you were so cool. You were so cool. My mom would not buy me extra laces. The shoes came with their own, thanks.
I think they came with both when I got them.
Actually, by then I was living on my own. And I should say that my mom didn't buy me anything. I didn't even have LA Gear. I was probably wearing a Walmart brand because I was a single mom. Anyway. LA Gear, these are the flat, like, walking tennis shoes. They don't sell for quite as much, but these are, like, the girls would wear, like, aerobics wear. This is what that reminds me of. But these are 90s, paid $5. I think I'll get a little bit less than the Skechers for these because they're a little bit more of the preppy style than the rave kind of girl style. But I would say, like, 40 to 50 bucks. And they're a good size. They're 8.5. They're not like they're a size 5.
Very nice. All right, next up, the wide leg baggy jeans are all the rage right now with, again, the Utes. Shorts don't go for as much, but, we're talking about Anchor Blue, and I sold like a pair of Anchor Blue jeans for like $100 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. They kind of have like the look of the Levi's Silver Tab baggy, where it actually says baggy right on them. This is a nice big size 42.
Jorts are back, guys.
Yeah,
right
really
up there
good
with
condition.
Cargo shorts.
Baggy.
Jorts.
Now these were priced at $6.99 at Goodwill, so I got them for $3.50. I'm hoping I can get like $50 for them. So again, I'd be much more excited if they were the full jeans.
Look at my face.
I'm gonna start wearing these.
No. Crying out loud, no.
Now that's all I'm gonna wear. Anyway, so I'm hoping to get like $50 for him, but good deal.
The thing is, no, just no. All right, so this is another brand that I was not aware of. I'm sure some of you may know of it, but there are certain labels that make me take a look at something a little further. I think you guys, if you're a thrifter, you know what I mean. If you see certain labels, you're like, yeah, that looks like that could be an expensive brand. Yeah, that looks like it could be an Anthropologie brand or something like that. Well, this one looked like it could have been an expensive brand. And now that I looked it up, I know that it is. So this is on the robe rack. This is absolutely something that person did not charge me for. She put it in the bag and did not scan it. And I was like, I thought she was going to add it after when she was adding up. Anyway, so I paid nothing for this.
I'm guessing she was like, I don't know what.
She was probably like, I don't give a shit.
Well, I think she was more like, I don't know which one is the robe thing to scan, so I'm just not going to scan it.
I mean, whatever. Anyway, so Wings and Horns. That's the brand, Wings and Horns. And this is just it's like a boxing style robe. It's a men's robe. And it has a hood.
It's like a sweatshirt.
It's like thick slub knit. You know what I mean by slub knit? Like where it's ridged. Slub knit, heavyweight. It's like a sweatshirt. And then inside is like a thermal sweatshirt. Anyway, it's just a gray robe. There's several listed, but also several sold. So I think I can get somewhere around $75 for it.
And you paid $0.
I paid $0.
Ridiculous. All right, next up, these are always a good bet. These, how do you say that? It's like a wedding shirt, but they call it
Guayabera.
Guayabera. So this is actually
Cuban wedding shirt.
This is actually like the legit, like the Habend. I don't know how you say that brand either. Sorry, guys.
You are having pronunciation issues today.
Haband? I don't know how you say it. Probably. Anyway, this is like the official one, and they're just Cuban wedding shirt. It's like they've got like the double stack pockets, and then they usually have like some kind of like cool embroidery going on.
It also looks a lot like a bowling shirt, right?
Yeah.
But, some people will call it a bowling shirt, and they usually have a button. These are a snap.
Yeah, they're snaps
on the side. So it's got like a venting to go, because you don't tuck them in.
Yeah,
so
this
is
this is actually interesting because they look like regular buttons, but they're actually snaps. So they got like the 4 holes. It's kind of an odd design.
A good keyword for these is rockabilly. Rockabilly, they really like this style. It's very similar to like a bowling shirt of sorts.
These were priced $5.99, so I paid $3, and these are a good bet for like $40 and probably like a pretty quick flip. This is not the same brand, but look at this like awesome vibrant green.
Oh, you get this listed fast. This is like a St. Patrick's Day. Well, I don't know if
it might not be fast enough.
You might have missed it.
Yeah, but you can see like the detail there, and this brand Omega Fashion. I don't know anything about it, but again, I'll just price these to sell at like $40. Maybe send out 30 at the lowest.
I like the Kelly green. That's a very different.
I know
color.
it's really
and
actually
they're a good
really
size.
pretty.
They're both a good size.
Yeah, nice big size. So $3 a piece.
So this was a brand that I wasn't familiar with, but again, like anything else, I'm like, this could be a good golf brand or something like that I'm not familiar with. So I decided to look it up. I was never going to pay $14.99 for it, but I did pay $7.50 for it, and the brand is Demarche. It's a French brand. But this is this is for cycling. So it's a cycling jacket. It's not a jersey. It's like a
cold weather cycling.
Yeah, it's got like this. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Well, it's kind of like a soft shell jacket. That
it
material.
It's like a soft shell neoprene. That was the word I was thinking of. Neoprene. It's probably water resistant. It has the pockets in the back.
Put your snacks in there.
Put your snacks, your water bottle, the whole thing. Anyway, this is a size medium. I'm going to say this is a medium women's. I have not, the way it's like cut, it's like a women's. Anyway, depending on what the item is, they can sell for over $100. I think I'll probably only get like 50 to 60 for this, but anyway, here's the brand again. Just a quick little eyeball of it. Just keep an eye out for it.
I don't think you got 10 items, or you only have one thing left.
I did. I showed a couple together.
Anyway, next up, I grabbed these. First, I looked at them because they very much reminded me of like a Tommy Bahama. It's a very Tommy Bahama style.
Oh, for
like
sure.
This really nice, the really nice Hawaiian shirt, but it's got all the embroidery. I grabbed a couple more things. It's got the embroidery going on the back and on the front. And so I went ahead and looked them up just to see, like, do they sell? And I was actually very pleasantly surprised. They're $5.99. So I paid $3. I got 2 of these, $3 a piece. And they sell, honestly, like $50 to $75.
And what's the brand? Bamboo.
It's called Bamboo K.
See, and I walk by that all the time thinking it's like Panama Jack cheap shit that isn't going to sell. Cook Street, you know.
Yeah, Bamboo K. And especially the one I was able to find a lot of comps on is this one right here. It's a really cool design. It's got the palm tree and like the two colors there.
These are very nicely recently dry cleaned too.
Yeah.
So they're nicely pressed with the dry cleaning tag on them. So.
Absolutely. So this one in particular, I was able to find multiple comps. I could definitely sell this one for like $75. And I paid $3 for it. So I was very, very happy about that.
Well, you just awakened me to that brand because, like I said, I used to pass that brand by all the time thinking it was...
You guys, she has been awoken.
I am woke. As some might say, I'm woke at AF.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This was one that, for some reason, she rang up for $2.99 for me. It should have been $7.99. So I paid $1.50. I did not look it up, but... it's a SpaceX hoodie. Yeah. So the Elon Musk brand, SpaceX. It is branded. It is tagged. I don't know if it was worth picking up or not. I don't know if SpaceX merchandise is really anything anyone wants to wear and advertise supportive. I don't really know. But I figured it was worth picking up. If I can get $30-$40 out of it, like I said, I only paid a couple bucks for it. It's a nice heavyweight sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
absolutely.
It smells heavily of cologne.
All right, I just have two things left. Are you done?
I have one
now. Okay, that's fine. This I was not going to pick up. I was flirting with the idea of picking it up, but it was $12.99. I was like, I don't really want to spend that much. But again, they went to the 50% off, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to pick it up. This is a suede blazer. And it's got a few condition issues, got a couple marks on it, but overall it's in decent shape, but the buttons are kind of worn. You got some issues there, some flaws on the buttons, as you can see. But this is vintage. When would you say that's from? Just based on the construction and like what those tags
50s,
look
60s?
like. Yeah, so it's got like a leather tag there. So 50s, 60s. So for $6.50 as opposed to $12.99, I mean
it's gabardine lined, which is, I don't know.
Which is
I would say, I don't know. I'm just going to say 50s, 60s based on that tag. You can probably try and find some information on the company, but based on the tag and then that size tag, that's that's pre-70s anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's in decent enough condition that for $6.50, I mean, how much do you think I could sell this for?
I'd probably list it in my like $129.99 price range and then take anything over 75.
Yeah, and it's a decent size too. So, and I think there's a couple of marks on it. I don't even think I'm going to try to do anything with those.
Just a little
disclose them.
brush, and I think just try and brush them out a little bit to see the surface soil. But I wouldn't
I'll try
to touch it because these will definitely leave a watermark. This type of suede.
For sure. So, I mean, I think it was a pretty good get for $6.50, and maybe I can get like $175 to $100 for them. For it.
All right, this is my last thing that I'm going to show. I did get a couple of other little things, but nothing like super worth showing. But I only paid $5 for this. This was actually at a go back cart that was near the register, and I went and saw it on the way out.
It?
Yeah, I went and yoinked it. So it's just a Revel model kit, but it's new. Somebody had split the side, the seal, and I opened it to make sure everything was in there. Everything's still in it. Everything's sealed. I paid $5. Some have sold for as high as $50 or $60. It's not like a super rare one, but it's a good size, and it's an anniversary edition. Minimum $40 plus shipping. It's not. It's not a worthless one. So
yeah,
5 into 40 is good.
All right, my last thing I got, and this is definitely the highlight of everything that I got yesterday. This was actually on the go out rack. They had a bunch of racks of stuff to go out in Goodwill.
And this one they let you shop off of. Be careful, because it depends on what store you're in. Sometimes they'll have a sign on it that says don't touch the goods. Yeah,
sometimes. And Salvation Army had a bunch of racks to go out as well, and they didn't have a problem with me. I try to be respectful. I'm not sitting there flying through them and throwing stuff around like some people do. Anyway, so this was priced $5.99, so I paid $3 for this. It is in such great condition. It has all the buttons. Hold on a second, I'll show you what it is. So anybody who's been watching us for a while might remember in the past when I've had shirts like this. But do me a favor, go on eBay and just look up rainbow stripe polo shirt, vintage rainbow stripe polo shirt, and sort highest to lowest. And you will see that these shirts, this style can go for a lot of money. This one, I think, I could get as much as $150 for this. Easily get $100 for it. This is like in fantastic condition. I've never seen this particular tag before. But it's not because of it. It says Lake Tahoe. It's the rainbow stripes, but it really doesn't matter that much what's on it. And I think these are actually more popular overseas. And so I actually think having like a U.S. destination on it only adds to the value.
Probably sell to Japan.
Yeah, but they seriously, like, anytime I see something, a rainbow stripe polo, I get so excited. So when I pulled this off that rack, I was like, yeah. And I paid $3 for it.
Now, speaking of these, 3 years ago, you probably would have gotten $250 for it easily.
Yeah, the price, I mean, it's just all over the place. And I think the ones that are super popular, they're like blue with a different color collar. But just the polos with this style on it, they seriously, you found gold. And a lot of people have no clue. And so it just gets looked over.
Well, now they know.
Now everyone knows.
The tens of fans that we have know to keep an eye out for them.
Everyone knows. All right, guys, that is it for today. This is probably going to be the only haul video we do this week. But hopefully you enjoy our little success that we were able to find in thrifting yesterday. And thank you.
All right, that's it. That's all we got. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.